I'm always holding the mic here.
I think you should start the podcast with
Do we have the audio going?
You used
We do now?
you used to spit gum into toilets, and
Yeah.
now I don't do this. But you see gum in a urinal.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing Zyn packets in a urinal.
What is a Zyn packet?
It's the little it's like a little like tobacco tampon. Except it like works backwards. Yeah, you suck the juice out instead of putting juice in.
Wait, so
we can't open the podcast
No,
like this.
I actually
Why
don't.
not?
No.
I think that's so. It's like a. Little,
I actually don't want to give them any press.
It's like
I think
a little
it's bad.
spud Zyn nicotine, and you pull, and then you just suck on
according
it.
to Kevin, it's nicotine salts, which is like it deploys way faster,
Yeah.
so it gets you like whatever nicotine does
So
to you.
you don't have to like Zyn up the inside of your mouth with
tobacco,
like the fiberglass
Wacky
or whatever.
tobacco.
Yeah, with like the chewing tobacco.
Yeah, all I
You
know
have to have
is
your dopamine, like brain chemistry instead.
I don't know how any of this shit's legal, honestly.
Because it makes a lot of money. Zyn.
It's
Wait,
gotta
are we
make
allowed
so much money?
Should we be saying anymore? I feel like.
Oh yeah, that was too early.
I feel like we need to like not say that. Are we trying to make ad money on these things?
Yeah.
Still,
Can we cut out the F bombs?
We're just gonna silence.
We're
this
gonna
from
no.
now
We're
on?
just
I
gonna
was
put
on the Yard
before?
podcast.
We're gonna
and
put
they're like,
Zyn over it because Zyn is. you can say Zyn. You
Zyn
can
is
actually
win.
advertise
Zyn.
it.
Okay,
too.
Zyn
wait.
is win.
Yeah, Zyn.
Is lose, but I said Zyn, so then it's confusing.
Wait, Kevin, can you give us a clean Zyn so we can use it to censor the Zyn?
I don't want to say it.
It might be good for us to censor the swears. I don't think I'm going to stop you from swearing ever. So
Okay.
what we can censor.
Poo poo pee pee. Can we say poo poo pee pee?
Poo poo pee pee.
YouTube get mad at us for saying poo poo.
Zins.
Cummy poop.
Zins. Zins are no good. You
Yeah.
shouldn't get them. They're bad for you unless they give us money, in which case
The only
Zins are
Zyn
the
I'll eat
greatest
is a
thing I've
Zyn
ever
out of
seen.
Tucker Carlson's between his butt cheeks.
Yeah. Let us do that to Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I don't want cinnamon flavor. I want Tucker Carlson doesn't wipe his ass flavor.
How much money would it cost for this podcast to just go full right wing?
Oh, dude, $15. I'll do anything for anyone who has money and is willing to give it to me right now.
I agree.
I'll suck the money out of a hose if I have to.
In an alleyway.
In an alleyway.
Do you think that if you like became a right wing like grifter,
Yeah.
if you came back from it and you were like, haha, like look at me, I got this bag, like I'm so smart by tricking all these people.
What do you mean come back from it? You just, it's a one-way trip.
No. I mean, do you think people would accept that you like changed your mind?
You know what you would do?
And
This
then
is
you would
what
go back to the Democrats and you would say like,
Oh.
yeah, I was so stupid for being a Republican. Like, give me all
Yeah.
your money.
You become like the like, what do they call that? Where you switch sides and you become like their like not messiah, but like
You're like
sort of
the,
like this
the token.
icon. You're like the token transformed right?
Trans
Yeah.
political.
Political.
Trans Optimus Prime.
Trans Optimus Prime.
I think you could go left to right way easier than you could go right to left. Like in terms of like ideology, Optimus Priming.
Charlie Crist in Florida did it.
Who's that?
No, not Charlie. Who?
Oh, these are Florida politics. We don't know about these.
No, Charlie. I don't know. New Jersey governor like decided that he was a Democrat or something.
Oh, he flipped the other way.
He flipped
I feel
the
like
other
it's
way.
so much
Oh.
harder.
It didn't go good for him.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. Because if you start on the right side, the rhetoric that you have to spout to get popular there, it like almost disqualifies you from going
That's what I'm
left.
saying. People are so used to one thing. That's why for our Patreon, we got to post extra episodes, not just extras.
Okay, when do we start doing that?
I don't fucking know.
For the Patreon
I don't
listeners,
know.
someday, Patreon listeners, someday very soon, we are going to offer you exclusive full podcast episodes that only
It's what you
get
want.
to listen to.
We won't tell you when though. They might be there right now, and that's all they want.
Yeah, we actually we're not. Oh, it might be if there is the link to
Yeah.
the Patreon is in the description. If it's not, the link to the Patreon is also in the description.
For the low price of $15, we'll literally flip this podcast whatever way you want politically. I'll say whatever, whenever.
We only we could film two versions of every podcast, one that's right leaning and one that's left leaning.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get to, based off what tier you choose, you can pick one or
Wait,
the other one.
if I was the marketing person at Zyns, I would do like a political war. You like how many blue cartridges can we sell and how many red cartridges can we sell?
Oh, that's a good one.
I have a feeling red would win.
I would, yeah, and then like one of them, the proceeds go to abortion clinics, and then the other one, the proceeds don't go to abortion clinics.
It goes to
Go
Trump's
to-
legal fund.
Yeah, Trump's legal fund.
That actually, I feel like, is a pretty good split.
Yeah, honestly, I think.
And then you don't actually have to donate anything.
No. What? I actually do not understand why. I have a couple friends that do chewing tobacco, and I like if I see somebody smoking. I'm sorry to anybody. I immediately lose respect to you.
For $15 a month, you can hear Will saying that he only respects people who smoke cigarettes.
I would say that for $15 a month. I actually feel like smoking cigarettes and like chewing tobacco and honestly Zyns. Most of this stuff is like it's such a obvious way to potentially do damage to yourself that it's insane that people voluntarily sign
Well, it
up
must
for
feel really good then.
I don't think it does.
It must feel really good. Like the people just do things that feel good, and like destroying your body in certain ways feels good.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a Coors right now.
That's different though. That's Coors Light is safe. It's basically water. It's they should just call it LaCroix at this point. LaCroix rotten wheat flavor.
I'm a fan. They didn't even have to pay us for actually no, I'm gonna censor Coors. Beer.
What's worse, Zyns or Coors?
Like overall, whole number impact to society, Coors for sure.
Yeah.
Percentage base, probably Zyns.
You think so? Like
That's my guess.
actual
What do
like
you mean percentage?
if you had to pick one to do regularly, would you do Zyns or Coors?
I'm not answering this question.
That means it's Zyns.
Neither of them are giving us enough money to say. I think
I'm not. Yeah.
when I say percentage versus whole, I'm saying like whole numbers versus percentage. Like I think a higher percentage of Zyns users get harm, but even if a lower percentage of Coors drinkers are harmed or do harm, there's so much more of them. That's the whole number.
I would do
more.
nicotine patches.
Really?
Would you stick them on your body, you lunatic? Just like
Yeah, I would.
You get cinnamon flavor and it sort of burns a little bit.
Yeah. Like you put it on your bottom of your foot and you can taste it like garlic. Have you heard that?
Somebody bought a thing of Zyns once and I like actually threw it in the trash.
You didn't try it.
No, they bought it for themselves and they're like, what do I do with these? And I was like, here, give them to me, and I threw them in the trash.
Yeah. You wouldn't let him go home with
I
them.
would not let them go home.
You gotta
with them. I was like,
flush
"You're not
them. They
taking
can
these
dig them
home."
out of the trash. You gotta flush those.
If they want to dig them out of the trash,
Wait, which
that is
trash can is it
absolutely.
in?
Well, it's in a landfill now.
Wait.
For whatever like bacteria is like being killed by the Zyns currently.
You think a rat would die if it ate an
I think
entire
a rat
Zyns
would
pack?
die if it ate a Zyns. Even a single little Zyn. I think a rat would die.
It's a pesticide.
I'm surprised Tucker Carlson's still alive.
Like I think the fact is you cannot argue against millions of people doing it. It must feel good. Like they're not gonna do it just like if it felt bad, nobody would do it.
I mean,
it felt
I
bad.
like
It's
beer.
bad for your body. No one would do it.
Part of me feels like
I don't think beer is
nicotine.
as addictive.
I do not think so. I think that's to me that's the big criteria. Like I think nicotine is. I mean, do you want to look this up, Cord? Like, how much more addictive is nicotine?
I think it's one of
something?
the most addictive chemicals.
It should be probably like a tier 1 drug based on the tiers, the scheduling that they have, like a schedule 1.
Oh, okay.
Like it has to do with abuse and like potential for abuse and harm to you and addiction. I think like nicotine fits. I think tier 1, tier 2. Is there anything useful on this page, or is there some?
Yeah, it just looks like an anti-tobacco
propaganda.
Is there no
which
known
is
medical use for nicotine?
Makes me want to do Zyns.
Yeah.
I really have I shared this before?
A tier list maker.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Here,
They don't get this for free.
we all get to do drugs, and then we have to rank them based on how addictive they are.
I personally
do that.
think that like vapes and everything legally should be required to be like little dick shapes.
Oh, so you have to suck on a
Yeah,
little
so you have
dick.
to suck on the tip of a dick to vape. I don't know.
It might make some people like really like
That's
more
fine.
into it than
That's
normal.
That's fine. But I think statistically, less people will want to do that than the people that want to do it.
What if like vapes are totally legal? It's fine, but they all have to be poo flavored vapes. Like that's the only flavor
That's
of
a
vape
good
that
one,
you're allowed to
too.
do is
Shit
poo and
flavor.
pee
Yeah,
and cum.
it actually has to taste really bad.
Yeah, like that's like no candy, no bubble gum, only shit flavored. But you can anyone can do it if you
Dude,
want to do it.
If they sell more vapes and Zyns because of the candy flavors, they will absolutely sell less of them because of the shit flavor.
Yeah.
Like 100%. It makes you realize that the marketing is basically towards like children or underdeveloped adults. Like seriously,
Right.
What grown ass adult is buying fruit flavored
Yeah.
vape because they like the nicotine?
If Prime tasted like water, nobody would drink it.
Exactly, but instead they make it taste like shit. Fuck, it doesn't gonna work.
I like that argument. That really demolishes any counter argument you could have if they were like, no, like the flavor doesn't matter. Like it's then make it shit flavored.
Make it shit flavored.
Make it shit flavored,
Yeah.
pussies.
Make it
Yeah.
like toe fungus. Make it like Dwayne the Rock Johnson's fucking in between his big toe and his little toe after running 300 miles.
It's like the Harry Potter every flavor beans, but all the bad flavors.
Carl
Earwax.
Tuckerson's sweaty butt cheek flavor.
Some people would buy that up though.
Tucker Carlson would buy it. I know that for sure. Do you think he's listening to this?
I hope so. I hope he's a valued listener, a patron of Safety Third.
Does anybody not hate Tucker Carlson? Like he just feels like that guy that's like he's like that kid.
A shit ton of people don't hate him.
But you have to know that he's just like a grifter. He's literally just like an entertainer. He doesn't even believe anything he says. He's
like it's like one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Like it's actually like that uncle you have. It's like that uncle. It's like he's that guy. He just it's like it's so like everything just comes out. It just like feels like a lie.
I think
like,
that's a huge issue though. That like you can't imagine someone who is a legitimate fan of Tucker Carlson, but he has like millions of fans, like huge numbers of people actually really legitimately unironically like him.
Did you see the clip of him like talking about how Zyns makes you better at sex? No. It's worse than that. Wait, can we play that? He's on what pod, it was like the Send It podcast or whatever.
Safety Third podcast.
Full Send.
And the guy asked him like, does it make you better in bed? And Tucker just looks at him and just like says yes.
Yeah. He's like, it's a work enhancer. It'll make you better in bed or something.
I think the other guy, it was like he didn't make the claim, but he like totally affirmed it. It's actually like almost like an SNL sketch. Like it's so unhinged. What is that? Is he selling seltzer?
Also dipped.
Beer.
I love dipping.
That's beer.
Certain point I turned 50. Turned 50, I was like, can't dip. The dentist is against it. Girls don't like it. Even if they do sometimes, I've never met. I was on a fishing trip. What the? Trying to read this out loud is like.
Wait, is this? I don't think this is the episode, is it? I think they were like in a living room or something.
Yeah, I thought they were too. Well, maybe
was it?
Skip through it.
What? I can't remember.
I bet. Just trying to do a straight reading of any of these transcripts is probably insane.
Is it recording the audio from this record?
Why is he packing it like a can of dip?
How did we ever?
This guy doesn't even do this. He just sells it for money.
Do you think he ever sticks them up his nose?
Dude,
only true Swedish people do. With a snus.
Oh my god! Actually,
that must feel amazing because it's gross.
Sweden, it's so snus is so popular in Sweden.
Yeah,
like it kind of gave me a flashback when you said that because my uncle, like my whole family's from Sweden. And, like I remember my uncle would do that. My dad had him for a while. It was I think it was just snus. Is there another brand?
I think that's the style.
I've never even heard of it.
It's like a little.
It's like
pouch.
a super fine. Oh, it's a pouch.
Yeah,
pouch.
and so I think they like instead of it being like fibrous, it's like a little like pillow of tobacco that you put in your mouth, and it was like apparently better than just regular chewing tobacco. Better.
For
it's
you.
like it's like inhaling gasoline versus drinking it.
And they can stick it up their nose.
I think everyone stuck everything everywhere.
Stick it up your fucking ass, your urethra.
No, I
cinnamon
think
Zyns in my urethra.
Traditionally, Swedish snus, they would like literally put it in their nose. It was like a powdered tobacco, and they would pack their nose full of it.
That must be.
I've seen videos of like old guys doing it. They have like a little hammer that they hammer it up their nose with.
Oh,
what?
Or something.
Like a tobacco lobotomy.
Snooze hammer.
Wait, that's actually insane. What did the hammer look like?
I think it was like a little wood hammer, like you would get with those like mini paleontologist kits to like open
the
up
joke
those
kits.
Yeah, the fake dinosaur eggs.
Yeah.
I've come all the way around on this. I would totally try this for a Safety Third Extra. I would do snooze on camera.
I want to
if it comes with a little hammer, I will do snooze on camera.
Did I pound snooze off my ass with a little hammer?
Boof the snooze.
I'd boof the snooze.
Can we do trying drugs from other countries as an extra? And I will definitely hammer some snooze up my nose.
I cannot imagine that's their like advertised way.
That
God,
looks really
there's like
gross. Putting it in your like cheek.
Yeah.
No, look up like Swedish or something, or like traditional.
Good.
I might be thinking of a different type.
What I think I'm gonna do is go to
and then type in nose. Put nose on the end.
I'm gonna go to my doctor or tattoo artist and have him cut a slit on my skin, and so I can shove them under my skin.
Your doctor or your tattoo artist?
Well, I'm just thinking that the doctor will probably say no, so I might have to go to somebody who's doesn't give as much of a shit about body modification. Ew.
Wait, where's the hammer?
Dude, it looks like...
Where's the little hammer?
Yeah, Kevin, where's the hammer?
Yeah, where's the little hammer,
You promised us a little snooze hammer.
Yeah, where's the little snooze hammer? I'm not doing this without a little hammer, a little paleontologist hammer.
These pictures make drugs look so not cool.
But that's why it must feel amazing. They just all look like they have little Hitler mustaches.
Oh my god, it actually does.
Maybe they call it snuff. It looks like maybe.
Are we gonna
snuff,
get demonetized
right?
for talking about Hitler mustaches? Because that's honestly what it looks like.
I think it's fine as long as we pivot to Jeffrey Epstein's island immediately after. Okay, that's fucked, bro. It looks like you had a bloody nose and you left it in for 2 weeks and it like dried and turned black. Wait, is that the snooze hammer?
That looks way too big.
No.
There's no way that's the snooze hammer.
What is that book on the left? Snuff 102?
That is not about tobacco. That is not about nicotine.
Wait, click on that. No, don't click on that. Don't click on that. I changed my mind.
I think snuff films. If anyone's curious about snuff films, Google
type in
snuff films rule 34.
Snuff, no. I don't know. You know what? No, people are over this already. They don't care.
Wait, is that machine a snuff insertion contraption? We're on Google Images right now for all the audio listeners, and you're really missing out.
Oh, yeah, you definitely are.
What is this?
Oh,
no,
you're
not this one.
You're getting more than people who watched the video,
but not as much as the people who pay for Patreon.
It's like how like Daredevil, his senses are enhanced by not being able to see, and you're getting a lot more out of this.
Do you think Daredevil's senses in his what's the poop sense?
Down more.
Oh, the anal sampling reflex or whatever.
Do you think his anal sampling reflex is more sensitive because he can't see?
Like it has to be.
All his senses
logically.
became better.
Yeah,
including so he doesn't chart himself.
Never. I think like if the theory that we were talking about of the anal sampling reflex being like a pressure thing,
yes.
I think that Daredevil probably has like a higher resolution. So if there's chunks, he may be able to feel those out, and he'll know that it's.
I think he can probably just like echolocate them inside of his own body.
He does
like an ultrasound. Yeah.
I would buy that too.
I bet he can.
I bet he could do that too. Yeah, because then you'd for sure be able to feel chunks.
Yeah.
Do you think you could build a anal sampling mechanism robot? Like, do you think you could build a robot that can detect if it has solid or liquid without really having any moving parts?
You know what? If you did the Daredevil thing, you could maybe build like a sonogram machine that is on a belt, so that
just
you'll
like
always
physical
know.
Sensors, though.
Yeah, like I think like. Oh, physical. No. I mean, like, so that you'd never shart yourself. Like, build a belt with a sonogram built onto it so that you can always tell if there's chunks in your shart.
Wait, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so it warns you if
down.
you're going to shit your pants or not.
You look down, and if your belt's like green, then it's like,
then
you're
you
good
can
to
fart.
go.
And if it's red, you don't let it out because it's going to be poop that comes out.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
You could probably do that with ultrasound, right?
Yeah. Because that's just Daredevil.
Holy shit, he could literally put his face up to people's stomachs, scream, and tell if they have diarrhea.
He probably doesn't even have to scream.
Wait, actually,
he'd be like, oh, dude,
don't let that one out. Don't let that one out.
You're good, Kevin.
No, I don't think I am.
Trust me, bro. I got sonars or whatever.
How much is
I told you.
That's a risky one.
Do you shit your pants?
He farted. Don't worry.
I wouldn't admit it if I did. I wouldn't tell you.
It was just a little blood squirt. Don't worry.
Is there a hobbyist sonogram machine? Is there like an Arduino sonogram?
You're overthinking this. All you need is a momentary switch.
Can we go back to Zyns?
What do you mean a momentary? What are you gonna measure with a
switch is being pressed? Don't.
Yeah, but who's pressing the switch? A little elf in your colon?
The poop.
I wish I had a little elf in my colon, Alan. That sounds like a Patreon video.
Putting elves in our colons.
Elf on a shelf.
Extremely
elf in my colon.
loud.
The thumbnail is Legolas from Lord of the Rings.
Brought to you from the makers of Elf on a Shelf.
I can't wait for us to have sponsors. We're gonna have sponsors soon, right?
This video is sponsored by Zyns.
No, this video is sponsored by alcohol.
If you use Zyns, fucking stop. If you smoke vape, fucking stop. Cord, do you vape?
I used to.
And you stop.
It probably feels great.
To have a little.
Doesn't it feel good?
It was so good.
It was so good.
Why? Why even
if you
stop?
drink Coors Light, continue. You king or queen.
Yes, sir. I'm just saying, like, if it doesn't make any sense, that means it probably feels way better than you imagine it feels.
I feel like you feel bad if you don't have it. That's the problem.
Oh, the opposite.
You like set your bar for feeling good higher. I like to set it lower.
Does that reset, Cord?
Mostly.
How long did it take to not feel bad? 2 months?
That
2 months to stop feeling bad
even
with patches. You still felt bad with. So you plateau. So you start vaping, you plateau. You don't get any benefit from it. So it goes. It starts. So you started vaping, gave you head rush. Then the head rush kind of goes away. It's just normal, and then you get the opposite of the head rush when you stop.
I bet I could quit smoking.
Don't you fucking dare.
It's like Jake Laser
I'm
saying he
gonna
bets
do
he could get thin if he was fat.
There's a video for you, Kevin. Just start smoking, get addicted, and then quit. Just to prove that you can.
All I remember,
wasn't I saw on like Reddit a while ago, wasn't there like some millionaire who like he wanted to prove that like he could do it whenever, and so he gave up all his money, he went homeless, and then over the course of a year he made like 60 grand at a normal job, and then he quit and he just took all his millions of dollars back.
He quit and decided to be rich again.
Yeah, he was like, I will make $1 million in the next year starting from homeless because I can guarantee it was because of my own efforts. And then he got a normal job and then made a normal amount of money, and then he quit.
What's most embarrassing about that to me is that he accomplished so little when he was rich that he couldn't even use his like connections and network to get rich again. Like, what a fucking loser.
Yeah, well, he's rich and we're not. So
like, imagine being so rich that you could have all of the benefits of being rich that you can't have when you're not rich, and you couldn't even capitalize on those to become rich again.
So yeah, Kevin, you should start smoking.
About 2 years ago, I went like completely dry, like totally abstinent from alcohol.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't shower.
I
didn't shower and I never went in swimming pools.
Well, sandpaper only. It works great.
Oh God, still
it's exfoliating. Oh, I never tried that. No, but I was like super sick. I had freaking Ebola or something, dude. It was bad. So I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, just in bed for a week. Like, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just like not gonna drink for a month. I'm already a week in, and I'm just gonna see like if I feel any better. Because like, you know, I was like, sometimes I'd wake up at night and I'm like, oh, that's because I had like beer before I went to bed or something, or alcohol. Okay. And so I just didn't drink at all. And then by the end of the month, I felt exactly the same. Nothing got better. I was still sleeping like shit. I was still stressed.
Yeah, except you weren't getting drunk.
My stomach ache would still hurt.
I need my medicine. I personally, it's tobacco or nicotine makes you feel bad if you don't have it. Right. I think alcohol can do that, but casual use of alcohol, I think, does not put you in the same situation that casual use of nicotine will put you in.
I don't think there is no, there is. People smoke cigars and stuff. They're not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every once in a while, like my dad always, they'd smoke cigars every couple months. And like we did the same. When I say cigars, I also mean the Swisher Sweets that people use to. They don't pull the tobacco out and replace it with other stuff.
Oh,
it's like shitty little thing, and it's like you don't inhale it, and it's like once every like 3 months. Yeah. I had a pack sitting in the house for like over a year, probably.
We got little cigars from New Zealand when we were in New Zealand, me and Kevin, and they had like the craziest warning labels on them. But then, I mean, I think a lot of the times when we I think a lot of the times when we go like on safety third trips, we end up getting cigars. And I don't feel
in air quote, because anybody who actually smokes cigars will get really mad. Honestly, it's probably half the fun.
Because they're like the little ones that aren't like, I mean, what's a real cigar? Like
a
the
big meaty thing, something that you have like your throat hurts, your jaw hurts, unhinging to put it in your mouth.
Big brown dick that you put in your mouth.
Exactly. That's
the ones
a real
we got in New
cigar.
Zealand. They looked like
I want the little brown dicks.
They looked like a mini cigarette, like a cigarette, but it was a cigar, and it was $45 for 10 of them.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's how much it costs over there.
A lot of taxes, yeah. And each of them had a picture.
And they're like, what flavor do you want?
Yeah, it was like a picture of like gum disease and like a kid in a hospital ward.
I want the hospital kid flavor.
And we literally had to like say it like that because we didn't know what it was.
We didn't know anything.
We were like, we have the cancer kid flavor.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I think those were the smaller ones too. So it was almost like,
child size?
These are like the littler ones. So it's like got the picture of the kid and because it was like, secondhand smoke will give your kids cancer, and so I think that's what the picture was.
Cigarettes are like anyone who like regularly smokes and that's like in their car, in their house, it's like one of the most vile smells ever. Like an old, it just makes me feel like it's like death. You walk into like a casino, like an old shitty casino, and it just smells like death.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like a connection to old people, because like all the old people I knew smoke.
You go into like their house after they're dead and it smells like it's like, oh, who used to live here? It's like
a cigarette smoker.
Yeah. They used to live here, not now because they're dead.
And it's just like that. It's such a core memory that you like everywhere you go that you smell it. Like that's all you think. That's all I think about is just my grandpa, old dying people.
He was an asshole and he smoked.
Yeah. And he's dead. He's dead. And that's what you think about when you walk in.
I told him, I'm like, Grandpa, stop smoking. He's like, don't tell me what to do, you little shit.
And then he fucking died.
Just think about it.
I think that, we're all gonna die eventually, and you definitely should have your vice. I think people who are like, I don't know, you're like abstinent against everything is kind of silly. Like, whatever. Don't like, sure, do whatever you want. Really is the reality, but don't do like super stupid shit.
I gotta say,
Where's the
to
line,
be fair
'Cause
though,
a lot
Wear
of
your
stuff,
seatbelt.
A lot of stuff we do, I think people would consider to be the super stupid shit. Like,
Look,
I think it's
We all have our
you know,
fingers. Look at your fingers. Everyone's got our fingers.
for now.
For
I gotta be
now.
clear though, my grandpa did have stage 4 lung cancer when he said that.
Ooh.
So
Well, at that point, dude, at that
I know.
point,
Now I get
quitting's
it.
not gonna
Now
do anything
I would
for
I would
him.
start smoking if I had stage 4 lung cancer.
I'd be eating cigarettes.
I know.
But like you think about when you turn like 80 and what your life expectancy is like what 85, 90. What's our life expectancy like?
I think it's
60?
way in America,
Like,
in the U.S.
no.
it's,
No,
it's
we're
le-
like 70, 70.
I think it's
for
literally
men.
like 76.
Holy
Yeah.
fucking
76.
Did you not
shit.
know that?
We're halfway dead.
Did you not know that we don't
No.
live that long?
I didn't know that.
I told you, middle age.
Yeah, people
Oh
people
my
have
God.
kind of lived for about as long for like ever. I mean, people make that joke about like, oh, like, you know, at the back in the day, you made it to 30, you were an old man, but that was just counting like infant mortality.
Yeah.
Throughout human history, we've basically lived to like 70.
So
Like that's pretty much it.
oh man, dude, I gotta change my plans.
You thought you had more time.
I thought I
You
was gonna live
thought-
to like 100.
Well,
What's the
this is-
retirement age?
This again, though, life,
68?
this is an average. This is an
66?
average.
Okay, what's below average? Where does that put me? Where's the bell curve?
There's a
retirement
really
age
good chance we'll probably
is-
make it
Oh,
past
dude,
that.
AI.
67. You have less than 10 years to live after you retire. Less than 10
the
years
best
of freedom.
10 years of your life, though.
Yeah, best 10 years.
Yeah, you're too old to do anything.
So you're like you're 70 years old, right? You're like
Yeah.
basically 6 years away from biting
On
the
average, yeah.
biting the bucket. What do they say?
Yeah.
And
Fucking the bucket.
fucking the bucket.
Yeah.
kicking the
Sucking
farm.
the bucket.
Dicking the dog.
Kicking
Yeah.
the farm, yeah.
Fucking the puppy.
Why can't you do drugs then?
Oh, like legally. Why
Yeah, you're
you?
already like dead.
Because you're gonna get in a car and you're gonna kill 12 people.
Okay, I didn't say you have to drive.
You're going to do that
You're gonna
anyway,
drive.
Alan. You're
Yeah.
going to do that anyway.
You're gonna literally have dementia and get in a car and kill people. I'd rather get killed by somebody on drugs than someone who has dementia.
They had to take away my cool grandpa's driver's license.
Somebody
Oh,
driving
man.
on dementia is like a bigger systematic failure than somebody driving on drugs. Because like the person who has dementia has had dementia. The person who's on drugs just fucking
is
ate the drugs.
sometimes not on drugs.
Yeah.
So you think 70 you should be allowed just anything, everything?
No, I don't think you should. I'm just
You
saying
have to
that
turn
like
in your driver's
if you-
license,
oh
and they give it back to you once you come back sober. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh,
I'd
like,
I'd like to rent some heroin, please.
like a cash for guns program.
Heroin for keys.
yeah.
I'm just saying that like as a thought experiment, you don't want people to do drugs. You know, you don't want them drinking, you don't want them smoking because it will shorten their life expectancy.
Yeah.
But when you're 70 years old, you could eat asbestos for breakfast.
You could eat asbestos
Yeah.
for
Like,
breakfast.
we've been
will
through this before.
It will not do anything.
So
It will
why,
literally not
when
do
you're
anything.
beyond the age of drugs killing you because you'll be dead before the drugs kill you, why can't you do drugs? Like really, what's so dangerous about drugs other than reducing your lifespan that doesn't exist?
I mean, I think then you'd have a bunch of old drug dealers. You'd have a bunch of old people getting drugs from the government.
They do that with
They're-
Viagra.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a problem.
There's
I assume.
underground
Why can't
Viagra
you can-
gangs
you
in
can't-
Florida.
There's no drugs that make you feel good, but you can have a drug that makes your dick hard.
Yeah. That's okay.
And then you got to do the feel good part yourself. But all your friends are dead. So
I
you
don't
gotta
because you don't get addicted to Viagra to the point where like you're
addicted. Was that a pun?
Addicted. I don't think you get a cockted to Viagra the same way that you get a penisted to heroin.
I'm just saying, if you're like, let's say you're 6 months away from dying.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with sitting in a bed high on heroin all day?
I don't think so, but I think the problem
Will
is
just
like,
discovered hospice.
yeah.
And guess what? They charge you a shit ton of money for it.
Maybe. I don't know. I think there's a lot of free ones.
Oh, free ones? Oh shit. Well, maybe they
Maybe
figured
they
it
get
out.
better. Maybe they get fentanyl at the ones you have to pay for.
Then how come?
You
Why?
get the good stuff.
What about like other stuff that like isn't like what would you call heroin? Like it turns into just like a puddle of jello. What about like
McDonald's?
like what's not say psychiatric
DMT?
placebo? Not the distortion vision ones. What do you call that? Psychedelics?
yeah.
yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
shrooms.
Or you mean like
LSD.
dissociative?
Yeah.
Like why can't you do that when you're 50? How about like every year like the U.S.
Oh,
drug
you unlock
scheduling?
a new schedule.
Yeah, you unlock a schedule. Like
Yeah.
the older you get, you go higher into the drug schedule tier.
I think the logistics alone would be a nightmare. Like trying to, although Canada has all of their alcohol is like government.
CVS has it figured out with regular drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, KiwiCo
prescription.
has it figured out with kids' toys and mailing lists.
Just make it a prescription. If KiwiCo can do it,
They have the
Prescription
logistics.
drug. Every month you get a new drug.
The system is there, Alan.
imagine you doing an ad. We do an ad read for like how CVS's mushrooms make you trip way harder than Ralph's is CVS. What's another pharmacy?
that.
Walgreens.
I mean, okay, here's
Rite Aid.
here's
High
like
fructose
the
corn syrup.
the real
Our heroin
real,
doesn't
though.
contain any high
Like,
fructose corn syrup.
The real shit, the real shit,
It's
like
good for you.
the shit that like they don't like want to talk about. Like most people who try drugs don't get addicted to them.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
you know,
actually?
you get like the horror stories of
I
people
like
who,
those odds.
they get hooked on heroin, their life gets ruined. You know how many people like just try cocaine like once in a club and then they just don't do it again, they're fine.
I've heard there's some drugs you should never do,
Like even once.
like heroin, meth. Like there's a couple things you should just never do.
Like never.
Never.
I would still gamble that there are like most people who try it once actually don't do it again.
Personally, I don't even want to know.
I don't
what
even
heroin
want to take
does.
that
I don't
risk.
want.
Yeah,
I
it would
never,
ruin your life.
Yeah, because
I
those kind
never
of drugs
wanna
like
know.
ruin your life.
Yeah, because it goes into your brain. Like all the circuits that are supposed to like make you do things, it ruins all of them.
Imagine
It's a
realizing that
shortcut.
everything you ever do will never feel as satisfying as doing that drug. And I think that is like you're signing up for a lifetime of pain by even thinking about doing it.
Yeah. It's too good.
It's like, don't do it.
It's the highest form of anything that any animal has ever achieved on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Is inventing and doing heroin.
Yeah, honestly,
literally
dude,
short-circuited.
That is it.
The entire purpose of
Uh-huh.
life is short-circuited by taking that drug.
We even like all like 2,000 years of inventions and evolutions and like this is
Yeah,
it, dude.
it
We've
was
maxed.
all-
We've peaked.
It was all for fractions of what
actually,
that drug can make you feel
and
like.
then they figured out fentanyl.
You could build a
Next
time
peak.
machine. You could build a fucking time machine and then feel better taking heroin.
Like billions
Like
of
I'm
years of
saying,
evolution.
it's fucking bullshit.
We don't
bro.
even have to like make babies anymore. We don't have to eat food. We just like done.
I built a time machine, but I don't give a shit because I'm like lying in this puddle of piss and shit I made.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know sometimes I will sometimes go on just kind of like stretches of trying to be healthy and diet or whatever, and then I'll just go
Every time I get a weird pain in my chest, I like give up
and
all
like,
my.
oh shit, I'm gonna get diabetes, and I try and exercise for a while, and then I always kind of come back to eating and drinking whatever, and the first time when I give up is always the most amazing part of that because it's like, wow, like this tastes so good, it feels so good, but then like after a while you get kind of numb to it, and you're like, you know what, McDonald's just kind of sucks. I don't really need that much of it, and it's like that feeling, but times like a million, a billion, a trillion is like taking heroin and then being off of heroin.
Yeah. I
It's
really
the opposite of that, right?
Yeah, getting used to like junk food
Yeah.
versus getting used to being on heroin.
Yeah. I'll take.
Yeah, like I'm not tweaking for a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, but I'm
Maybe
not-
a little bit. My mouth just started watering.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably pretty close to heroin. They've engineered it.
I think they have.
I mean, there's not many foods that you can put in your mouth that have a like chips. I think specifically, they've done something. It's like they've done tests, they've done studies. How many monkeys do you think have eaten Flamin' Hot Cheetos in that lab? At least one.
Yeah. Wow. Never thought about that question before. What about on your deathbed? Would you do heroin on your deathbed?
Yeah.
Like you're for sure gonna die in the next week.
I feel like
Yeah.
everybody's thought about this, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. I'd do it.
Yeah. Why would you not?
I don't know.
What is it gonna kill you?
I'd be scared of like
Dying?
what if you're like, man, I should have been doing this my whole life.
Yeah, but then guess what? You don't have a choice. Bitch, die.
Yeah, you just die.
She did.
There was I think it was like Aldous Huxley, like the author, the guy who wrote Brave New World. I think I'm probably getting this entirely wrong. On his deathbed.
That's fine. That's sort of what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do in this podcast. Is we get things wrong and people correct us in the comments.
But none of it's important.
Yeah. I think on his deathbed, he like one of the last things he did, he couldn't talk anymore, and he wrote down
Do more drugs.
Yeah, he was like really well known for like
Anti-drug?
no playing around with like psychedelics and drugs, and like one of the last things he did was he just wrote like on a piece of paper like an insane amount of acid to do, and they gave it to him, and that he died. So he he went out on like the biggest fucking possible trip a human being
He like
could
didn't
do.
even exist anymore.
Yeah.
That's
he
actually
died.
how you get out of the Matrix.
Dude.
It's like take an insane dose of acid
It's
right
like you're
before
ripping
you
like
die.
sheets of it out of a notebook, or like.
That's actually interesting because like you wouldn't even die. You would just like
I mean, the acid doesn't kill you, but dying kills you.
yeah, but you would like you would have no perception probably, right?
I don't know what the
Dude,
fuck that's.
He might have been like looking down on himself, watching himself die.
It was worse.
He might have been like watching the neurons shut down one by one.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because I think what happens when you die is like all of your neurons do the equivalent of shitting themselves, like because
like a
electrical
seizure almost.
Yeah, because like electrical activity is your neurons actively holding back electrical potential in the form of ions like sodium ions or potassium ions. So it's like they have a way of holding that back, and that creates voltage. And
busts.
when they release it, the synapse fires and like information's conveyed. When you die, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the last thing that happens when you have brain death is all of your fucking synapses just shit themselves. They all fire at once, and I don't really look forward to that. Happens to everyone when you die. Unless your head explodes from a grenade.
That sounds pretty
right?
good.
I don't
After
know.
you
I
explain
feel like
this.
it might be bad. I feel like it might be bad.
I mean, what is a seizure?
I think it might. Yeah, I think it might.
Is
be
like
that.
kind of
Have you
in that
have you
realm,
seen
right?
videos of
controlled.
like what is it, like octopus and iguanas? No, not iguanas. Chameleons like dying.
Oh, what? All their colors.
Yeah, their
freak
colors,
out?
like,
oh, 'cause it
freaking
all
out.
just
Yeah.
kinda
That's probably
turns
your
on
brain.
at the same time.
Just like shit going sicko mode up there.
Yeah, I guess it might not be anything. You might because if you have a seizure, you don't remember that.
Have you
right?
like passed out before?
I don't think so.
One time
Like,
I was sick and I was so dehydrated I passed out, and I just kind of remember falling over and then I woke up.
I've never passed.
There was nothing.
I've never passed out from. I think the only time
That's like your brain turning off.
it's always been on purpose, like being at the dentist or whatever, and take your wisdom teeth
Oh
out.
yeah, it's
and, like,
probably like that.
countdown from. I remember thinking, I was like, all right, I'm gonna beat this. I'm gonna beat the count. I'm gonna get all the way down to 0. All right, doc, give it to me. All right, 99, 98.
You're like, I don't know how I don't know how
I bet I
works.
could beat it.
And then you wake up and you're like, oh, that's what dying's like. That wasn't so bad.
You wake up.
Yeah.
And you wake up and you're like, oh, I feel fucking bad.
Welcome to hell.
Oh, I don't want to be in hell. I don't think I've ever passed out.
I don't think so. I don't think I have.
I think I've basically been conscious my entire life unless I chose not to be.
Wow.
Like actually, like I've never really even been blackout drunk. Like I can't drink that much.
Oh
I'm just
no,
sick.
I've been blackout drunk. Fuck, I don't know how I forgot that.
Well,
I guess
I
that's
think
kind
that
of
actually
funny.
that's sort of how it works.
Yeah, no, I've been blackout drunk a lot actually. That's the only other time. It's never been like, well, I've never gotten hit in the head or dehydrated. It was
Right.
just like always.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, that's.
I think my favorite part about drugs overall is how much all the adults when you're a kid hate them and tell you
Yeah.
how bad they
Yeah.
are. Like I think if there's anything that like vividly sticks out, it just feels like a bunch of people trying their best to get you to do the exact opposite of what they actually want you to do. You know, it's like they tell you, they make such a big stink about it.
Yeah.
And then the instant you have any inkling that it's not that big of a deal, it's so bad. It's so much worse.
Oh, are you just people like just doing it because they realize
They
that,
realize like,
we
oh,
could just
everything
do
they
it.
told me is a lie. Therefore, everything's actually totally fine. And you probably get people doing way worse shit because of that.
Yeah.
And now they know what all the cool drugs are.
Yeah. And then they've been educated on what the drugs are. I think that the tobacco, the wacky tobacco cancer kid labels probably is like the best.
Oh, okay.
Or the dick shaped vapes, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For getting people to not, because it makes it not cool anymore. It makes it like not
Actually,
sexy.
I changed my mind. I think
Yeah.
all the teachers should start vaping.
Ooh.
Imagine you show up to the principal's office and
That's a fucking
blows it right in their face.
fat
You like
puff.
take the vape from the kid and be like, cool, I was out of juice. And just start smoking the kid's vape in front of them. He's like, juice me up, Billy.
a program. What if there's a program to start paying the bullied kids to do all the cool stuff?
Yeah, I think everyone would immediately stop doing drugs.
Like whoever the smelliest, least popular kid in school is, they get $100 a week to just do drugs in front of everyone at school.
Yes. That is a government program I can get behind.
Like the janitors.
We should run for
No,
office.
there are some
That's
cool
mean to
janitors. There's some cool janitors.
Yeah.
You can't do that to the
Janitors
janitors.
are cool.
The janitors are basically students. Because they sort
Who
of
is-
Students
Yeah.
who don't have to do homework.
They just-
Oh.
More like this.
They're like, don't worry, man. I don't want to be here either.
The SRO, the school resource officers, and the security guards. That probably sounds so weird to people who didn't grow up here.
The security guards at the school?
Yeah, I mean, like in America.
Do they not have that in Europe or whatever?
They don't have police stationed in the school.
Only third world countries don't have security at their schools.
They don't arrest kids.
How many school shootings do you think there have ever been in Africa?
Oh, a lot. It's probably way worse than here.
I actually
like student, like not like
religious and
like
Boko Haram,
like a single student showing up to the school and then shooting up the school.
Oh, that probably never happens.
I know, I think I can't imagine. I feel like the U.S.
I think there's I'm sure there's way more like political, military, terrorist shootings or whatever. But like the single kid showing up, how much does that happen?
That's a classic American special.
Maybe there's just like a constant number of school shootings that have to happen just for humanity, and it doesn't matter what reason it is.
You can only get the Big Mac at McDonald's.
Yeah, so like we've achieved like a stability in this country where the school shootings don't come from other sources, so like the kids have to.
What do you think the secret sauce is of American school shootings?
I get it.
Dude, oh man, I have no fucking idea.
It's like a metastable kind of like equilibrium.
Isn't that fucking crazy though? Like
it's like when people's lives are so good, they start complaining about their neighbor's grass.
They start complaining about their fucking coupon at Denny's expired.
About who can use the bathroom.
That's 100% my theory. For
some people don't have
like
bathrooms. They don't think about that.
Any of the wackiest like sexual fetishes that you've ever heard of, I feel like is the same thing as like how developed countries have more like asthma. I think it's actually like a mental autoimmune thing that happens in your brain.
Or like disease.
Like
it's like incest. Like things start happening when you don't have a big enough pool of problems.
I think you have too much like
free time.
Yeah, too many non-issues, and then your brain just has to. It starts going crazy because it's expecting. Oh,
like allergies.
Yeah, I think like
everything gets overexpressed.
Like a hentai inflation fetish is the same thing as getting asthma, but mentally versus physically. I think your brain doesn't have enough to deal with.
You're right,
and so it starts inventing shit.
If I like was like struggling to pay rent that month, the last thing I'd be doing is spending my money on anime hentai inflation mangas. Is it manga?
It's manga if it's in like a book, like an illustration.
Okay, so I could still call it hentai manga.
In the US, you could. In Japan, people look at you weird because hentai just means pervert.
Because of the inflation stuff, or because of the hentai?
No, I think they're okay with the inflation stuff. Okay. I think it's just the terminology.
Oh, they'd be like, they look at you weird, and they're like, you said that wrong. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm sorry. And they're like, by the way, that one's better. Don't get the one you've got in your hand.
I think, can you imagine a caveman with like a latex fetish? I mean, I guess they didn't have latex, but like they just wouldn't have had the time to develop anything weird.
Could you imagine a caveman that wasn't worried about anything other than starving to death?
They were probably barely even attracted to women, cavemen, you know? Like,
yeah. I mean, I think
Wait, Alan, I feel like we talked about this before.
We talked about this on a fucking road trip.
That they're just like misplaced.
We talked about this on a fucking road trip back from San Francisco. Because that's my game theory. I wholeheartedly believe that it's just like when there's too much time and not enough bad things happening to you, your brain just gets sexually aroused by weird shit.
It's like a Stack Overflow. Yeah. Like you have to if you mess with the registers the wrong way, they start like populating themselves with data.
Like dominatrixes, right? And like their clientele is usually it's like rich like business CEOs because
they have too much control in their life.
They have too much control. They have too much money and time, and like the only thing that can get them off anymore is like
being out of control.
And like, do you think a dominatrix existed 1,000 years ago? Do you think Jesus had anything to say about dominatrixes?
I mean, what is that like? What is the crucifixion? Like, kind of got some like.
Only if people jerked off to it, and I don't think they did.
This is quite the episode.
Okay. No, I think I see where this is going.
Yeah, I think that is actually the source of like a lot of like any of the weirdest, most fucked up internet like shit that you've seen that people jerk off to is because they just don't have enough.
They don't have enough real problems.
Yeah,
so they start thinking about things and they start sort of making up things maybe,
and then they jerk off to it because they have a lot of time.
Yeah, and yeah, you start like crossing wires. No, I catch what you're throwing down.
I think people were probably into some freaky stuff back then too, but it was probably just kings, you know, like the rich people.
I saw this museum post. It was like a Reddit post of this picture in a museum of like this like sex chair this king had made.
Yeah, so that he could like bang two people at once, right?
Whoa.
Because he was apparently really fat or something, and so they had to make a special chair.
See, like
for him.
I know I've heard some stories like this before. I just can't think of any.
And I was thinking about that. And I'm like, that's insane.
Royal sex chair from 1890.
I cannot for the life of me figure out how that works. And
I mean, it looks, for the audio listeners, it kind of looks like
it looks like a coffee table with a shelf, but it's upside down.
There's like
there's stirrups on it though,
Yeah.
almost like a gynecologist chair.
I don't
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then like for the guy, you see where he stands. There's like something that
It's
can like
got
hold his feet so he won't
handlebars.
slip out.
that looks like something you
Oh,
would
and
have
those are
seen on.
handlebars. Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
I
got,
get
like,
this.
handlebars.
I
You throw a
get
couple
this.
wheels on it, you would have seen that on like a Nickelodeon commercial when you were a kid.
This man was an engineer.
This is immaculate craftsmanship, honestly.
Yeah, and it only happens because it's a king who, like,
say anything.
what else is he gonna do on the weekends? He's got nothing else going on.
Literally.
He doesn't have any real problems.
No actual responsibilities.
And so he gets a sex chair and he's fat. I think that's where it all comes from.
While the peasants were thinking about not starving to death.
yeah.
And then somebody had to make it for him.
I think the peasants
That's a
were
good peasant.
happy
They-
with just regular sex, regular, just normal whatever, because they had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
You know, that's how Patreonship used to work.
they didn't have the luxury of having weird, freaky fetish.
I don't
sex
know
with the
who we
kids.
offended. I guarantee we've offended a large swath of people. I don't
honestly,
know who.
it's always
we
the
have.
opposite. I think we might have offended the perverts on this episode. So if you're a pervert and we offended you, leave a comment down below.
Yeah.
Yeah, and jerk
If you-
off to
yeah.
this whole podcast.
I love now that anybody that commented is going to think that they're acknowledging that they're a pervert.
How many people do you think have ever edged to our podcast just for hours on end, just listening to it and just waiting?
There's a couple people that always leave kind of little freaky comments. So
Really?
yeah, I
Oh,
think there's
God.
definitely more than one.
I don't know if we should encourage them or encourage them.
No, I think you should do what you want, but you can still be ashamed of it.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That feels very
Yeah.
American to me.
You should still be embarrassed, but do it anyways.
Yeah.
You fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I like that. That's almost positive. I like that.
If you do that shit and don't support us on Patreon though, then you can kiss my ass. Seriously though, could you imagine somebody like watches this podcast and gets like a sexual satisfaction out of it and does not support us on Patreon?
That's fucked up.
That's actually
That's
fucked
actually
up.
fucked up.
That's like super fucked up.
Yeah, if you've ever
Yeah,
gotten a
they should
boner while
subscribe us on
listening to the
OnlyFans.
podcast, even just incidentally, then I think you owe us some
What
money.
if they like being shamed too? What if we just
Then we're doing it. We're
now you really have to support us on Patreon.
Yeah, what if they like being like financially dominated?
Oh, that's great.
Can we get some fin doms in
Yeah.
the page?
If
Can we
there's
get
any
a level of
fin
that from the
doms-
Patreon?
Yeah, what Alan said. Findoms?
Yeah, financial domination.
How do you know all this?
You know, you just look
Yeah,
stuff up.
it's just
Google
Find
AI?
stuff. You just Google AI
know.
suggests some things.
I searched for we're the closest coffee shop and it told me about domination.
Yeah, you know,
I searched for CPA and it took me to like some brothel.
I hate it when that happens.
Could they do your taxes though?
Yeah, they could, but only taxes.
Are you sure you were reading the name of the establishment correctly?
Wait, maybe that was his last name.
Wait, brothel.
Brothen.
Mr. James Brothel.
I'm trying to like remember back, like they always had the meme on shows of like the cop showing up to school and like showing you all these drugs, right? What was your like elementary school
With Dare?
with Dare
Yeah.
experience?
Dude, I still remember the Dare song, I think.
we were on you're a little older, you're like what, 2 years older than us? Like
barely
1 year older?
Barely,
Like,
yeah. It's like
fucking-
one.
Yeah, 1.5.
Barely.
We were like on the tail end of Dare. So I think that like must have been early elementary school. They kind of stopped doing it.
Did they stop doing Dare? Is Dare not a thing anymore?
Dare is not really a thing anymore.
I mean, that's good. I
I
feel
see
like
them outside
all
of
the
Walmart
studies say
sometimes,
that Dare
though.
didn't do anything. It was
I
a
know. I
huge
think it
waste of time
100%
and
made it
money.
worse.
Yeah. Because
Like-
you just it's like, you know, marketing. Any good publicity is, or any publicity is good
Yeah.
publicity, and you're just telling kids about all these drugs.
Yeah. I think it looks like they went crazy in
Dare
like the 80s.
is still around. I see
2009,
people like
okay.
independent groups with like Dare shirts.
I dare you to
standing
smoke
outside
this
of Walmart.
crack.
Is that like a real Dare shirt though? Or are they wearing it like because it's kind of ironic now?
I dare you to do
hair.
heroin.
No,
Why was it called
No, no.
Dare? What's it called?
drugs are really expensive.
No, it's D.
Oh,
I won't
drug.
do drugs. A won't have an attitude. R I will respect myself. E.
know
I
the-
will educate me now. That's been in my head for like 25 years, and I can't fucking understand why.
You know the only thing that could calm me enough to sit through that song?
Drugs.
Drugs. What does it stand for?
Like
Drug
I
abuse.
remember. I can't remember the fucking equation for like resonant frequency and a secondary or primary coil for a Tesla coil, but I can remember the Dare theme song.
Drug abuse resistance education.
National Institute of Justice.
So you can still do drugs, you just can't abuse them.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, I think most like the truth is most people could probably do drugs without abusing them like once.
Yeah.
Like that's
Except meth or
actual
heroin.
truth. It's also like the kind of like the statistics on like even with tobacco use, like it's really, really, really bad sort of for you in a public sense. Like the majority of people who smoke cigarettes will not get cancer. But it's only because it's a majority. It doesn't mean that it's
statistically.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's good for you individually. It's really bad for you. But if you smoke cigarettes, you as an individual person will probably not get cancer from it.
But it still literally means that like 1 in 4 people get cancer from it, which means you have like a quarter.
from a societal scale, it's fucking terrible. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened. On an individual scale, you're probably gonna be okay.
It's also like a horrible way to die.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's like to say that like
and your whole family tells you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, and then you get lung cancer. And
but
you
they're
die.
stupid, so
You little brat.
That's like it's probably fine. It's probably fine.
How much money do cigarettes cost?
Like a pack of Zyns
How
right
much
now?
money does Zyns cost?
It's quite a lot because of the taxes, especially in California.
What does a Zyn habit cost you, like on average?
10.
I didn't even hear about Zyns until just now, so I have no idea. $3.99? That can't be right.
Oh my god, okay.
For what?
For like a single Zyns pouch? Is that
it's just a can.
A can of Zyns?
A can of Zyns cost. Oh my god, it's really just trying to.
I just don't like the fact it's a big company selling you an addictive chemical.
No, I can't believe it's legal. Like this sort of pharmaceutical.
Well, would you be okay if it was a mom and pop operation?
I would.
I want government.
I would. If you want to grow your own tobacco and smoke it, or buy some unknown.
What if the Girl Scouts sold
nicotine
Zyns instead
brand?
of cookies?
The government should sell it to you.
If a Girl Scout came to your door and said, "I'm selling Thin Mint Zyns," would you buy them? Or I'm sorry, what if it was the peanut butter ones?
Doesn't the Girl Scouts already? Isn't the whole Girl Scout cookie thing already kind of like a sham? Like, don't they get money from?
Yeah,
other
they should
places?
just go full tilt.
Philip
embrace
Morris,
it.
dude.
Yeah, just sell Zyns. Sell it. Imagine cookies that you literally have to buy because you get.
I mean, they're
headaches
already
if you
shills
don't.
for Big Oil. They're already shills for Philip Morris. They're already
Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Girl Scouts chill
Yeah.
for Big Oil.
No, I just made that up.
Oh, I was like, that's
I bet
awesome.
they would though.
Yeah.
I believed it because I believed they would.
The Boy Scouts, they don't do anything like that. They just
They do other things.
They just do
Be
weird
careful.
sex stuff.
Be careful what you say next, Will.
What?
I'm in
He's
uniform.
a Boy Scout.
Oh, hey. Hey, Kevin, you're looking good. You're looking fine.
And you say it's the Boy Scouts?
You
We're the
looking-
problem?
You look young in that outfit.
Yeah,
just
he's
'cause of
looking
what
a
I'm
little
wearing?
old for that uniform.
When I was in 5th grade, we had this like big, awesome dare assembly. Actually, it's like in the class, it was my ceramics class or something. And we had to, they gave us like some, like, I don't know, I feel like we did a lot of
the one
dare
class
stuff.
that you could literally make a crack pipe. They did this.
We did a lot of dare stuff. And I just remember this one time they asked us to like draw a scene, draw like what it's like to be on drugs or something. Like draw the consequences of being on drugs and how it'll destroy your
That's
life.
amazing.
So I get my paper, I get my crayons, I start scribbling down some stuff, and I drew such a sick car going so fast down the road, skidding down the road, a guy hanging out of it, like blood coming out of him, like decapitated. There was like heroin needles, kind of like stars in the sky. There was like, I wonder if my
I
mom
can
still
see
has
it.
this picture.
That's exactly the picture
I knew
you were
what-
drawing.
I-
Kevin.
I-
That's
I-
exactly right.
No, I nailed it. Yeah, this guy was like doing drugs and his car crashed. There's like booze, like, like bottles with like
He was doing
XXX on
everything.
them.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I could even draw a pot leaf in 5th grade.
Wow.
They're like
That's
looking
really
at this.
impressive.
They're like this.
I learned.
They're like, how do you know so much, young man? How are you so wise?
Yeah. Tell us your ways. Teach us your ways. Show us where that car came from. The car looks awesome.
Ceramics class?
Yeah. I just remember it was in like the art room.
Did you ever make
'cause
ashtrays?
That was my favorite. No, that was in elementary school.
Oh my god! Did you actually make an ashtray in elementary school?
No.
Okay, I feel like
And
that
I
is
never
something.
got to be in like ceramics in high school for some reason. Like I just
Oh.
missed it. But I know all the kids would always try to make like pipes
Yeah.
and bongs and stuff
Yeah.
and like disguise it.
Yeah.
But,
It's a vase with a weird hole here.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really remember too much. I think like the most core memory I have is we had this obese woman health teacher who was telling us about the reason she's fat is because she smoked cigarettes.
Whoa.
And that when she quit cigarettes, she would eat peanuts instead. And she ate so many peanuts that she got fat.
It's calorically dense.
And I actually feel like that was probably the most like effective like anti-smoking campaign I've ever gotten, because it was like someone's actual experience, and it was kind of like, it wasn't exaggerated at all. This was also the same person that did sex ed in that grade and talked about crabs and how you can get rid of them by shaving, but she's not sure why anybody would shave. So
yeah, looking back on it, teachers
Wow.
are kind of messed up, aren't they? Just people. When you look back on it, they're really
average
just people.
gym teacher.
they absolutely are way less, I think, responsible and adult than they wanted you to believe back then. Yes.
I really love the idea of being an obese teacher and then just using it for like any number of life lessons. Like, because like you don't know for sure that was actually why she was obese. Like,
I feel like she wasn't clever enough to have like come up with that story.
What if she was like, you could be teaching like pre-calc and being like, oh yeah, when I was your age, I failed my pre-calc class and it made me fat.
It made me fat, and I smoked cigarettes, and I did drugs, and I sucked dick under a bridge for drugs.
Yeah, and like all of that's gonna happen if you don't pass this class this year.
Anyways, that's just my personal anecdote. Hope it doesn't happen to you, kid. You're like sitting there like quaking, and you like pissed yourself.
I think that's a very effective teaching tool.
Because otherwise they just tell you like, oh, you do drugs and you'll die.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drugs are bad.
Can you imagine if it was like a really fit, physically attractive teacher saying like they tried drugs once and it wasn't for them? You'd be like, wow, I'm gonna do drugs.
Dude, I would probably not do drugs. If they actually said they did drugs once and they didn't like it, that would probably be like just the honesty. Because kids are smart, dude.
I had an English teacher who was like legitimately one of those like, inspirational high school English teachers.
Yeah.
And he did something that worked on me for like years.
Back massages?
No, he literally he said like, okay, like all those drugs, just wait until you're at least 25 years old, because right now you're in high school, your brain is developing. If you do any drugs right now, it's gonna fuck up your brain.
Dude.
Wait until it's done, and then you can do whatever you want.
That's so smart. Like, you don't tell them no, you just tell them that there's a time and a place to do it, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It actually worked.
I've heard that message a lot more recently.
Like
there's a time and place for everything, and it's college.
It became a brain worm for me. Like I literally, there are times where I actually would like say no to things based on that logic until like a little bit into college when people are like
you're like 21, you're like, I'm close enough.
yeah, basically people are like, well, I mean, do you actually believe that?
Yeah, I'll
Like,
snort some Benadryl.
Yeah. But for years, it had a lasting effect on me for years.
Sprite and what? Whatever.
Because it was so like logically set, like it made sense. It wasn't a no. It was like a just wait until you're done.
There's, I think, unfortunately, a lot of like actually sort of stupid teachers who are maybe socially inept. Like they don't understand how to communicate with anything other than like absolutes.
Right.
And so instead of having a relationship with students, they try to have rules with students, and then they tell them not to do drugs, and then the students are like, well, I don't follow any of your other rules.
Yeah,
so you bet your tight ass I'm gonna go smoke some crack after class. Seriously though, like make your kids rebel against you, like they're gonna do the exact opposite of what you ask them to.
Right.
But telling them, like giving them a warning, almost like a personal anecdote, you're like, wait, like that's like trustworthy, you know?
Did you guys ever have this experience in college? You like know any friends that like were super straight edge their whole life, and then like once they get to college and there's like nothing holding them back, they go crazy.
That's the parents, bro.
They start doing like way too many drugs, start drinking way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
there's
like
like that's
almost
definitely
spite.
it's a thing.
Totally.
It's definitely a thing.
It's like your parents force you to not do something. They're literally like winding a garage door spring up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, go to college, like do a garage door spring that's been tightened 10 turns too many. And the kid comes back a freaking crack addict, and they're like, what did we do wrong? Oh, it's like you set your kid up to go into the real world and explore all the things that you told them were bad, and then realize, well, they weren't that bad. And then they figured out how to make it bad by doing way too many of them.
Yeah. No, I know it's bad. It's
like religious kids too.
Mostly, I think it's a lot of.
I mean, like soaking
kids.
is a thing for only one reason.
Because
of religion.
Because it feels good.
People don't soak for fun; they soak for Jesus.
I don't know. It's like the more the merrier, right? You get your friend involved, and it's like that's even more people.
It's like
than
Mario
normal.
Party.
Yeah, you don't want to play Mario Party with just 2 people.
It works with even when the power's out, though.
Or 4 people, maybe even you get 2 people.
Court, can you look up how many people are required?
Yeah,
to soak?
are they allowed to do more than 3? I feel like if there was 8 people jumping up and down in the bed.
Do you have to be Mormon to soak?
You could probably be whatever you want to be.
Who came up with this shit, and then how did everybody go along with it? Like, it's okay.
It's gotta be at least partially a meme because it's so funny. There's no way that it's like. I feel like it's something like 2 people did, and then it just became a meme.
Or if you're listening to this, and you're Mormon,
look, there's an article: Mormon soaking fact or fiction. That must be.
It's gotta be fact.
I feel like a lot of it is just because it's funny.
Like, I don't know, it's closeted about it. You're like that.
Dude, I think
you're that smart.
I think people are, when they're not starving, like Alan said,
they start soaking.
Their fetish,
starving,
they're like fetish is sex, and then they figure out how to like do it without breaking the rules, and then they do whatever soaking is.
If there is a God and he's like,
why are you asking ChatGPT?
You go to heaven and he pulls up like a screenshot of you soaking.
Dude,
how are you going to explain that?
I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, you're like, technically.
You're like, thanks God for giving me all the facilities and friends I needed to soak.
If you're able to do it, then it's by definition God's will, right? You can't defy God.
There you go.
Right? If you were able to do anything, it must be God's will because you could never defeat God.
I am a strong proponent of that. I feel like if you're allowed to do it, then you're allowed to do it.
That's why we don't have time travel.
To do it, you're allowed to.
God won't let us time travel.
He won't let us time travel.
He won't let us have cold fusion.
He won't let us have sex before marriage.
He won't let us have.
But he
29
will
cent
let you soak
fucking cheeseburgers from McDonald's anymore.
Oh God, do you remember that?
I do.
When they would be like that, like what, like every quarter or whatever, they'd have like the 20-cent burgers.
All the old meat they hadn't sold.
I remember people would like people I knew when I was a kid, like they would go through the drive-thru like multiple times at once, and then they would take like 30 burgers home and put them in the freezer.
And they were never good after that.
They would just feast off of that like that hoard for the next 3 to 4 months.
It's like actually like killing an animal and like keeping it in storage
like
for
a
food.
Deep freezer.
Yeah, except it's a fucking hamburger. I vividly remember that because we did not like I think my dad's like when we were growing up was like pretty cheap. Like I don't like he made decent money, not like good money, just like total middle class.
Yeah.
And I think he's I think my dad's just like very frugal.
Yeah.
Dad. Just like a typical dad.
Typical
brand.
dad. It's like going to McDonald's is like pretty like rare. Like that was always like super exciting. And I just vividly remember like the only time all bets were off was during those like 29-cent cheeseburgers. Whoa. And it was like a different dad. It was a completely different dad. Dad was like
a new dad.
It was new dad. It was better dad. It was like
dad
stepdad. It was like fresh stepdad trying to impress the kids and be friends with them. And it was like the greatest thing ever because it almost was like it made him happy. The more cheeseburgers you wanted because of how cheap they were.
Like you're taking better advantage of the deal.
Yeah. like it wasn't us being happy. It was taking advantage of the deal that made him happy. And I like very fondly remember anytime that happened was like a great day after school. It was like, we're going to McDonald's. It's like, we don't want to go to McDonald's. Like, no, you don't understand. It's good.
You have to go to McDonald's.
I mean, we did want to go to McDonald's. I would say we didn't, but like, even if we didn't, we would have gone. It was like it was a polar opposite normal dad experience.
Yeah, it's almost sad that's not. I don't think McDonald's has any equivalent deal that they do anymore. Like those dads never. There's a whole generation of kids that don't experience a good dad now because of that.
Yes, McDonald's took that from us.
They gave it
only
they
bad
took it
dad.
away.
Fuck you, McDonald's.
That's right. They're never going to be a sponsor of this podcast because they fucked up and got rid of the 20-cent cheeseburgers.
No, because now every time you go to McDonald's, Dad's going to be swearing and cursing about how expensive it is and how ungrateful you are, you little shit.
No more good dads ever again.
I genuinely hate McDonald's now. Though. Like actually, like there's a couple of fast food restaurants that I used to really like that I hate, and McDonald's is one of them.
I still will get they've got like the one little, like, it's like a vestigial organ of a deal now. It's like the 2 for $3.99, like McDouble and McChicken and the like a couple other things. And
That used to be
like,
$2.
They used to be on the dollar menu. They used to be $1. Now it's 2 for $3.99, and that's like the last.
Sell me a single fucking nugget. I don't care. Make a dollar menu, asshole.
I know.
one
Let me get a
nugget
burger,
for $1.
fries, and a drink for like $5, $4.
I'll share the sauce with someone else who got a single nugget.
Quarter pounder with fries and a drink, $5.
When
I dare you. You're too much of a coward.
I remember when I was in
You'll
college,
still make money.
There was
will.
a Burger King deal for a double cheeseburger for $1, and I remember like reading a news article that like the Burger King franchisees were like all complaining. They were trying to tell Burger King to rescind that deal because they were losing so much money off of it. And once I read that news article, I think like for the next 4 weeks, I would just eat that every day because I would be like, this is such a good deal.
It's such a good deal. They're losing money.
They're losing money on this.
That's
I'm
what happened
only
to Red
gonna buy
Lobster.
this from Burger King, and I just bought their $1 double cheeseburgers like every single fucking day while the thing lasted.
Oh my God, Alan, you're part of the problem.
I know it was great.
You and everybody else that went to Red Lobster for the infinite.
I didn't go to Red Lobster. I read about it after the fact. I was like, man, I really wish I had tried that at least once because it's never gonna happen
The 50
again.
cent lobster special.
I think
It was
they were down
unlimited shrimp.
For how much?
I don't remember how much it was, but it was enough where it was a problem
$20?
because people would just sit and eat.
Bro, you don't
fucking
even
shrimp
need
dishes.
the anal reflex sensing anymore. You just know you're gonna have diarrhea if you eat that many shrimp.
Yeah, how much was it? Because it wasn't like that.
It was like $20.
$20? That's a lot of shrimp.
Yeah, 20 to 22 and then 25, and it still lost them money
Why would they
$10
do
million
it then?
in the third quarter.
because it was supposed to be a loss leader. People were supposed to come in and get other
Yeah, it's
things.
like advertising.
but they
basically.
only got the unlimited shrimp.
Yeah, but how many days did they let that go on before losing $11 million?
months.
And also,
months.
That seems
if,
like-
if you can't afford $11 million and you're like a nationwide food
Yeah.
chain, like you're also doing something
Well, I
else
think
wrong.
they were
Yeah.
also supposed to, like, I think like they probably got instructions like in the franchise to like kind of meter it out, like you know, you get unlimited shrimp dishes, but you have to order them and they have to bring them out
like at a buffet, you know,
Yeah.
they don't bring it's not a continuous crab leg.
Yeah, they have to
It's like
bring you
one
the
crab
dishes
leg
so
every
they could
30 seconds.
probably
Yeah.
like slow it down. But a lot of the
It's like a morphine drip.
I was
you
looking
know?
at like
It doesn't work. Give me more shrimp.
I was looking at like Reddit threads about people who were like, because once it was all over, I was like, oh man, I wish I had done that. And so I was like living vicariously through the Reddit threads of people who
That
had
is
like done that.
exactly what Alan would do.
And so they were like, basically, they were like, yeah, well, we went to the Red Lobster and like, I don't think the people working there like got paid enough to care. So they would just bring us out as much as we asked for as soon as we asked for.
You know what they should have done?
Your dad
They
would be so
should've-
proud.
Oh my god, my dad would be proud of you, man. He would. My dad
I wish.
would adopt you if you
Oh,
had gone.
I should have done it. I should have gone to the Red Lobster and done the unlimited
They
shrimp.
should have just like deep freeze them in like liquid nitrogen, so it takes like an extra couple minutes to cook
to like
them.
guarantee that the
Yeah.
franchises couldn't like give them out.
Like they would have only lost $2 million on all the liquid nitrogen required to keep the shrimps in the
You're right.
such a deep freeze that even their finest wok couldn't blast them.
It's too bad, right? Because it's like you know, the only reason these deals are so good is because they're good, but then the companies, they lose money because they're good, and then they don't do them anymore, and then we get left in a dark gray world with no deals
shrimp,
anymore.
no unlimited shrimp.
Limited
Is
shrimp.
life worth living
Liminal
if
shrimp.
there's no liminal shrimp?
Oh, we're gonna have to find out.
I really think that like the fast food I've seen recently that is performing the best is In-N-Out Burger. Like the line to In-N-Out Burger has gotten consistently longer every single year, and I think it's pretty much capped out at this point.
Yeah.
Because you literally can't fit any more cars in the parking lot.
You cannot fit any more.
It
Like
spills out into the street.
it is the
It's-
cheapest. It is actually the cheapest food you can buy in this city.
Fast food.
It's like
Yeah.
No,
$8
anything.
Well,
for,
wait,
for a
just any
meal?
kind of food?
double.
I mean, straight
meal?
up, other than going to the grocery store and cooking something
Huh.
yourself, like there is no restaurant that is cheaper than In-N-Out Burger in the city that I can think of right now. Like I actually do not think there is anything. It is, they somehow have managed to just like hold steady on. It's like the Costco hot dog is the only other thing. I would
Yeah.
say it's Costco
Yeah.
hot dog and In-N-Out. And like I'm confident in that because the line is so long. Like
Yeah.
why else are people going to In-N-Out? Like it's good, but it's not that good. Like it's not 40 minutes in a drive-through
No.
good.
Yeah.
It's because it costs half the price of McDonald's. Like actually. And it made me think, like, you could, if you were running a food business right now, like it now seems like the time to do like some very streamlined, like almost like Waffle House. Like, what is the most streamlined, cost effective? Like, like whittle
peanut
it
butter
down,
and jelly, $2.
Like actually,
$1 peanut butter and jelly.
Simple,
PB&J.
super simple, super cheap. Just go for like absolute maximum optimization on price.
Do you think people are just lazy? They don't want good food.
They want cheap food.
They want cheap food.
If you literally did a
easy.
PB&J drive-through, like, do you think people would go for that?
I think it would probably do better than it would have like 5 or 10 years ago. Yeah.
Like you get a PB&J, it's $1.
Open it right next to the school.
Like the line moves very fast because it's just a fucking PB&J and you have 1 million of them already made. You just hand them out.
I'm a little worried about
I would do more. I would do
cooked.
I would do grilled cheese.
You do grilled cheese over a PB&J?
No, I would include that. That's on the menu too.
Oh, okay.
If there was a grilled cheese place that you could go that had like $2 grilled cheese
and a little cup of
you
soup,
just get it and go.
I would probably go there a lot. Dude, if we had a hot dog place that was like under like maybe like if you could buy a hot dog
$3, $2
for like $3.
Yeah,
I mean, at that point, you could literally buy them from Costco,
but I'm
bring
too
them
lazy.
over,
I don't
still
want
make $1.50 per dog by selling for $3 at a drive-through, and just offer a drive-through option.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
but I don't want to have 12 hot dogs in my fridge. I'm never gonna eat. I want one.
I wish
that's it.
One hot dog in your fridge.
One hot dog.
You shouldn't have any hot dogs in your fridge. Hot dogs don't belong in your fridge.
Trying to quit.
Trying to quit the dogs, the big dogs.
I'm trying to use corn dogs to quit. They're cold.
Replace them with peanuts
because they start cold.
They're harder to eat when they're frozen. It really slows me down.
Yeah.
I think like I would love to. I mean, I can't even do this. I would never even be able to pay for it. But like opening like a Waffle House or something like that. Like I honestly think the Waffle House might be one of my favorite restaurants, and I never go there because there is not one near here. Like anytime we're out and about where there are Waffle Houses, like I make a mission out of going to the Waffle House because it is genuinely what I wish Denny's was.
Yeah.
Like
Waffle House is so good.
It is so. It's perfect. It's not good. It's perfect.
Yeah,
it is.
Because you get grits, you get bacon, you get eggs. There's nothing else.
It's like toast. It's just like regular toast.
Yeah.
Like thank you. Yeah.
And it's like it's super inexpensive. Mm-hmm. It's like it's fast. It's comfortable. It's not like everyone's trying to overhype their menu.
It's a small menu.
Yeah,
it's a small menu. You only get so many things from a Waffle House, and they're all good.
They have like eggs, cheese, potatoes, and sausage in there, and I think there's just a lot of combinations.
Remember the last time we were at a Denny's and they had like
potato
burgers and like nachos and like fries and like it was just
there's like all sorts of different
like country fried steak and it like had like a kids menu and over 60
they must have a whole grocery store back there
and you can't have all of that and make them like good or cost effective.
I looked over that menu for I think a solid 10 minutes and I could not figure out what to order because it felt like everything was like either way too much food or like way too many calories. There was no just like simple like give me like a medium size plate of food.
Yeah.
It was either like 12 fucking blueberry pancakes covered in like whipped cream and caramel sauce.
Yeah. Give me grits, 2 eggs, and 2 bacons.
Yeah. And it like doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's like just, I don't know. I think maybe
French toast.
Yeah, or French toast or something.
It's like
is it maybe it's rent? Maybe it's like everything is being fucked by like rent prices. Like if you're an establishment, you have to try to sell more food so you like make higher costs with bigger plates.
Food margins are like notoriously terrible.
I think they do it backwards though. I think that they instead of some like sell it for cheap and try to get a lot of customers, they end up going for like sell it for really expensive and then only have like
like less customers.
They do the cost benefit balance for like more expensive and fewer customers versus like cheap and more customers. And I think I want to do a restaurant that's like super cheap.
Yeah.
I want it to be so cheap it puts every other restaurant within like a 5-mile radius out of business.
And we'll go Amazon.
The Spirit Airlines of food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I would rather have a Spirit Airlines of food than a Spirit Airlines of airlines. No, Spirit Airlines is okay.
I've never even flown.
It was
Spirit
fine.
Airlines.
It was actually fine. It was great because no one else had carry-on bags.
Right.
So we had to book it last minute because our flight got canceled. Or no, our first flight got delayed and we missed our connection. It was the last flight of the day. And there was a Spirit Airlines flight. And honestly, I have nothing but nice things to say about it because imagine a flight where nobody has bags for the overhead compartment.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, it boarded in like 35 seconds. Like actually, like everyone just went straight to their seats. Nobody was fumbling with bags. I'm like, oh my God, wait, this actually worked great.
Wow.
I'd gladly pay an extra like $20 per bag.
Wow.
I mean, I don't voluntarily book Spirit, but it was not bad.
So then the equivalent is like
Are there boarding zones?
Not hot.
I don't remember.
There's no food. There's
no food in the restaurant.
Sorry. I
yeah,
thought
like
you meant
what is the
you have
equivalent
to,
of like a Spirit Airlines?
You have to drink water out of the sink on Spirit Airlines. They have a cup that you have to like hold under the toilet spigot that spits water into the toilet when it flushes.
Like there's no drinks. No, wait, that wouldn't work because the drink's like the highest margin. You want to have drinks. It's only drinks.
I think I was also thinking about doing like a meal plan restaurant where you just like can go and get meals already made, like a week of chicken and rice or like whatever.
They do like a lot of online.
Isn't that just a grocery store?
Yeah, but pre-done.
They
have those though.
For actual grocery store prices.
That's a little hoity-toity though. I think that's like you're dealing with like that'd be like a higher.
That's a different idea. But the main one is just a super cheap restaurant with like Waffle House tier food.
Where would we go? Right?
I know the PB&J place.
I mean, I probably would go to PB&J place too. I would want something with more like something hot though, like more sustenance.
I honestly wish there
grilled
was
cheese and
like
tomato soup.
Simpler things. I think that like a lot of times whenever I like want to get a fast food thing, like a drive-through thing, is because like I'm
homemade pot pies.
I'm in a rush and I'm hungry, but there's a lot of times where it's like there's if you want something that's not like a burger, like it's impossible. What are you gonna get? Like
sandwich?
If there's like a fast food place that just had like
hot bowl of soup.
You know what? If Costco literally had a drive-through and they just gave you like rotisserie chicken, I would go to a fast food place that would just give you like
clam chowder with a boba straw.
I would do that in a cup, in a big cup, and it's
bread bowl,
whatever. Yeah, a bread bowl with a boba straw. It's a bread cup. It's a cup that's made out of bread.
But Costco is a loss leader, right? The food court.
Yeah, it's a loss leader.
Tell me the $1.50 hot dog and soda is not a loss leader.
It's a loss leader, but they should just have like a drive-through section at Costco so you could just drive and get the chicken and get the
Do you know how long that line would be? Like it would actually be longer than In-N-Out.
They could then they would upsell you to fill your tank with gas while you're in line. I would also pay for that.
Or a fast pass for the hot dog. You get like a membership card.
Dude,
there's a dedicated line.
Costing $10 a hot dog, you still do it.
Not if you go a lot. If you go a lot, it's cheaper. Yeah. You have to go 100 times a month.
You start justifying. You're like, well, it's saving me time. So
you have to pay for the plutonium membership. Plutonium Costco membership gets you front of the line for the hot dog.
You get the $1.50 hot dog
and $5 rotisserie chicken.
It's only $1,000 a year.
I feel like it'd be kind of interesting to do like a full like restaurant, like a full business model for like what food would be, because like I don't think like, none of us really know anything about restaurants. There's probably somebody who's like, oh, no, but like if you did a restaurant and you sort of built out like what the flow is, like personally, I think a lot of people who run businesses like do a shitty job. Like a lot of restaurants, they focus on the wrong things.
Yeah, most things are bad. Most things are bad.
Yeah, I do think like running a restaurant's hard, starting a restaurant's hard, but like a lot of people do things just bad. Like there are better ways to do stuff like this. And if you really look at like focus on the core experience of like what you want as an individual, which is like something cheap, something fast, and something that's super simple and not complicated at all, because that helps for the optimization, right? Like if you can run your restaurant off of like 5 ingredients, dude, your overhead's gonna be like nothing, because you don't have to deal with, you don't have bell peppers, you don't have fresh vegetables, you don't have any, like you have like one thing, like I don't know, maybe it's tomatoes, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but like you get rid of all the complexities and just make something that's like
you don't need a whole
simple.
Grocery store in the freezer,
right? Your freezer is like 3 compartments. It's like the 1, the 2, and the 3. Like you don't have to go.
That's what it was at Dunkin' Donuts. It was like sausage, eggs, and like that was it.
Yeah,
bacon too, and you just like put a different combination of like things on a bagel, and that was it.
And it's super easy to organize.
Yeah, Dunkin' is actually a pretty good example of like
optimized.
Yeah, everything comes like pre-made too. You just stick it in the Turbo Chef.
Yeah, the microwave.
Dude, the Giga microwave.
Like how many watts?
I think it's like overall 5,000.
Whoa!
But it's an oven. It's an air fryer. an infrared oven, and a microwave all in
Does it
one.
run it all at the same time?
Yeah.
Yes, all at the same
What?
time.
No.
Dude,
Uh-huh.
it just like turbo cooks it?
Turbo chefs are cool. I want one. If I ever see one on
Wait.
Facebook Marketplace, I'll buy one.
That's sick.
Yeah.
What is
It
it?
just-
Turbo Chef?
Turbo
It
chef.
like bypasses all the energy input limitations by just doing 12. It's like
It does
Doing
everything.
all of them at the
Uh-huh.
same time. Oh, it's only $7,000.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Fuck. Why don't you just buy an air fryer and a microwave and put them together? You could do that for $200.
you would have to have a, literally
DIY turbo chef.
actually would need a dedicated circuit in your kitchen for the turbo chef.
Yeah.
I
Like
think-
5,000 or 6,000
I think
watts.
most electric stoves, do they even use that much power? No.
240 times 30.
Oh, 30 amps is what a typical
I think a
kitchen-
breaker.
5,000
yeah,
watts of
3,000
electricity.
watts. Bro, yeah, 5,000 is a lot of watts.
So a turbo chef uses as much power as an electric oven? Because you're saying like 5,000 watts for the turbo chef, right?
That's 5,000 watts divided by 240.
It's also like a smaller thing. Like the inside of it's only like the size
This
of
is
a
like
microwave.
concentrated too, like all that energy in a smaller
Yeah,
volume.
I think it's got like 2 microwaves built into it. So
20
that's like
amps.
I think that
240.
is 2/3 of the power that my car charges at.
no, I'm telling you, it'll take like a fully frozen sandwich and make it crispy on the outside, and like the chicken will be like soft and warm on the inside. 30 seconds.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's actually amazing. It's like you can't put any more microwaves into it, or
You
you'll
close the
probably
door and it
overcook.
sounds like a jet turbine spooling up. It's like,
So it's like, is it like just rushing air through it?
yeah.
I bet you could make a shitty version of that
Oh, I
for
think Subway
an
uses
order
them
of
too.
magnitude less money. If you had $700, you could definitely make a shitty version of that worked maybe like a third as good.
How
like
do you
done
s-
in like a minute instead of 20
How do you
seconds.
stop the microwaves from fucking everything up, though? I don't know how
You
that
use
works.
the microwave as the base.
Well,
you
if
can't-
you have the hot air come in through holes that are smaller than the
What
wavelength,
about the
yeah.
IR, though?
I think it recirculates inside of there. You know, it's like a closed loop.
Oh, like just like a fan.
Yeah.
What about the
Yeah.
infrared, though?
what
like,
about the
like
infrared?
elements on the
Oh,
the
so-
top, and they heat up like this like ceramic thing.
Like
on the
convection
bottom.
elements? Like it's just like rods?
Yeah, like the rod kind.
How does microwaves affect
that's for
stuff that's
crisping.
wired to 110 or to power? Like if your heating elements are wired to wall power, does it? How does that work?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Like what happens if you have foil?
There might
What
be
it-
like an isolation transformer.
I think there's
Huh.
got to be a way that you could just stick an air fryer to a microwave. I bet there's a way.
I built my own turbo chef.
Yeah. Right? Like I combined an oven and air fryer and a microwave.
I built a $7,000 microwave for $50. Wait, Corey, look on Facebook Marketplace. Oh no, we don't have that.
Gordon is like desperately trying to let us know that the podcast is done. we're still
We're
going
ju-
on
we're-
about the
we're
turbo
just
chef.
getting
I want to find a
started.
turbo chef. We just got a microwave. I haven't installed it yet. That's like an actual variable magnetron,
Oh, that's fancy.
so you can control the actual
Ooh, the
power output.
inverter.
Yeah, the
Fancy.
inverting one.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like a couple $100, but we got a discount. Do we have to log in?
3,000.
$3,000.
6
for
years
it.
ago.
It's used. It's still like
Listed 6 years ago.
flash convection oven.
That looks cool too. It
Jeez.
looks like some 1950s. My name Turbo Chef.
Turbo Chef tornado oven. What's that one for $950?
I feel like this is probably literally the fastest way to heat something up. Short of having like what if you just had like 1,000 metal spikes that like spike into something?
Oh, and then like a
Oh,
car
neat
battery attached to it.
Yeah.
It's like boo-boo.
For
It's like-
sale as is and still $1,000.
It's broken.
It just said it's not usable as it is.
What could
Like,
possibly
it
be
needs
wrong?
service.
NGC, what does that stand?
could
Turbo
probably
Chef
fix it.
NGC.
What about Gov deals? No, like desperately looking for a micro.
Powers up when turned on. Shows an error and will not operate. $500.
What? How,
Does it
what could that
really-
possibly be? Like a single bad element? Like the
Yeah,
the
those are the
board's not
Subway
bad.
versions, the one with like the circle on them.
That one?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I want a Subway.
I've seen
turbo
them use it in
chef.
Subway too.
Wait, do they use that in Subway?
Yeah,
Dude, Subway
if
doesn't
you ever
cook
get your
anything.
sandwich, max input 6,700 watts.
Holy shit!
What does that say? 80 amps?
208,
amps.
80
Let's
amps.
go.
241 phase 80 amps.
God damn!
Wow.
Uh huh.
Do you think that would defrost a frozen hamster?
Dude, that would
cook
kill
a
a
whole
hamster.
turkey in 35 seconds.
It would reanimate it and then kill it within
That
10 seconds.
You could denature every protein in a hamster's brain in a quarter second.
One cycle of 60 hertz.
I put a hamster in a Subway Turbo Chef. Deli slicer, dude, man, I want a Turbo Chef now. Kevin, you got me on that. You got me in that Turbo Chef.
Got you all worked up.
There's this company, I think they're coming to Open Source, that makes a battery powered induction oven, and it can do like 10 kilowatts.
Battery powered? Like,
Yeah.
Would like what? Just like power tool batteries? Like
No,
big
I see like
lipos?
big lithium batteries in it
Tesla
because
Powerwall.
they're killing gas ovens, right, or gas stoves and everything.
Yeah.
So an induction is like everyone shits on electric stoves, rightfully so, because they're using like the dog water heating element ones. Like the actual proper induction stoves, especially like multi-kilowatt, dude, this thing apparently can heat up a pot of boiling water in like a minute. It can just dump 10 kilowatts for a short duration
into a little pot of water.
Into a pot of water, yeah. And so like once it does the initial burst, then the batteries are recharging via your like lower amperage circuit. That way you don't have to run like, I mean, what's 10 kilowatts at 240? It's insane. That's insane.
It's 60 amps.
That's like almost an entire like service for an old shitty house. Like actually. So by having the batteries, you can like cut the power demand in half.
I see.
And then put like an absurd amount, like an industrial kitchen level of power into your pots and pans.
Jeez.
I really want one. I told him, I was like, give me one. I'll beta test it.
40 amps?
40? What is 10,000 divided by 240? Oh, this should be easy. Is that 40 amps?
It's some multiple of 4.
10,000 divided by 240. Oh, I did 100,000. Yeah, 40 amps.
Yeah.
That is more power than the Tesla charges at.
That though, that's perfectly doable.
Yeah, but
In
why
your
would you
kitchen.
voluntarily run that additional circuit into the kitchen?
Might
And
be
how many
cheaper than the
houses already
batteries.
have that?
I'm sorry, I don't want to try. I don't want to pick apart their invention. It's cool.
But like, imagine you had to install that in an existing house.
Mm-hmm.
You have to now run an insane 240
Big,
line
chunky
So the
wire.
batteries
Yeah.
just like supplement more power at the initial.
in the initial.
Okay, I was thinking it
yeah.
was like portable because I know Makita has a cordless microwave that runs off Makita
Yeah.
power tool batteries.
That's.
And I think I think it can run for like
Isn't
5
it
or
like
10
$4
minutes.
grand or something stupid?
Yeah, it's really expensive.
You just go get an inverter and a 12-volt car battery.
No. You need to have the Makita portable microwave.
Makita.
It takes like four of the batteries.
That's
and
probably why it costs $4,000.
Yeah.
can run for like 5 minutes or
Before
10
the batteries
minutes.
catch on fire.
Oh, look, there's one on Amazon for $720. That's a deal.
Well, yeah, plus
Okay.
the $12,000 worth of batteries.
This has been happening to me a lot too.
It won't let you look at.
There's like a catch button to get onto Amazon.
I really don't like that they force you to log into the account. Like, I mean, I guess they're not here.
Ooh, look at that. 40 volts.
Tool only, and do you actually need 4
I
batteries?
think you
for
need
it?
4 batteries.
Those
for a
batteries
Doppler.
have to, like, when
Oh,
the
this one's
DeWalt
two?
batteries I have.
2 batteries.
I think I've seen the one with 4 though.
That's big.
Is this a new one?
This looks like a new one.
Could you imagine? That's like
Cool.
the manliest man thing you put in the back of your like monster truck you take to your
Throw a
job
Jimmy
site.
Dean
You put
breakfast bowl.
Yeah.
A single hot pocket.
Hungry man, a single hungry man
Because
breakfast
it's
meal.
tiny too. It's like a little microwave.
You have to cut your hot pocket in half.
Like look at that picture. It's a guy's hand is almost the entire size of that. Inside
You have
the
to
microwave.
first you put your Makita battery into your Sawzall so you can cut your hot pocket in half, and then you put your battery back on and cook one half at a time. Dude, those batteries are probably like $150 each or more. I think some of my DeWalt
Ooh, a
batteries.
coffee maker.
There's a Makita coffee maker. $150 ships from Japan. Of course. I
Japan
don't know why that
domestic
makes
genuine
sense, but it
product.
does. And you can brew a cup of hot coffee in the workplace. Out in the field.
Do they not have electricity on construction sites?
Dude,
Not for coffee,
not-
apparently.
What happened to a thermos?
I'm on Team Kevin here.
No, I want to make the coffee with the
All right.
power tool batteries.
I'm the old boomer now, okay? Because of the
That's the dumb shit. You ever see there was like, I think Makita made like a shop vac too, like a Roomba.
no.
It was
like a
this-
robot vacuum?
Yeah, I think Simone had one. It was just like,
Jesus.
like what's the worst place in the world for a shop vac is like a messy
An
shop.
actual shop.
Like, I cut off a sliver of a 2x4 that's like just too big for the robot to get over. Now
Yeah.
it's completely crippled and stuff.
lathe
Yeah,
turnings.
lathe shavings.
No.
It like sucks up basically metal pubes and like
But then
like
you can
magnetic
reuse,
dust gets all in the motor windings.
you can use the batteries though for your microwave and your coffee maker and your robot. It's all one ecosystem.
I want a Makita turbo dildo that uses their 60-volt lithium technology.
For the Sawzall.
Wait, does Makita have a concrete vibrator? Cordless? Please,
Let's
God.
see.
Jackhammer?
Let's see.
See, there's somebody that works at Makita right now who's sweating.
This could all
profusely.
be one ecosystem.
Oh my God, those dirty dogs.
Wow.
Oh.
I
Wait, what
knew
is
it.
this
Concrete
tool?
vibrator.
I don't know what this
vibrator.
is. Is it like you stick it in the concrete and it vibrates it?
Yeah,
Well,
it
it's still
shakes
wet.
the air out of it. Yeah,
Woo.
Shakes the air
they're
out of
actually
it.
really good, and I kind of
That's
want to.
long.
I kind of want to buy one. Then I realized you just get a corded one at Harbor Freight for like $100. And I was like,
What's the
I should-
mechanism in there? It's like a
It's
string,
just
like a
a-
metal wire that gets pulled back. And forth?
You're gonna be so fucking disappointed, Kevin, because I had the same question. I looked it up, and it's literally just like it's a offset weight. So it just rotates an unbalanced mass.
inside of there.
Wow.
I think the motor's up in the handle. It's just like a cable going down that spins.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's like actually. I was like really curious, and then I
Yeah.
realized that it was a stupid question.
Wow.
Yeah, it like
it's like
shakes.
a weed whacker. Just put something on the end of a weed whacker.
I mean, it's basically
Yeah, it
And
looks like,
it just shakes. It like puts little vibrations into the concrete. You watch there's some cool videos on YouTube that show in like an acrylic box how when you stick the vibrator in, the concrete just like all the corners just fill up immediately.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And the
That's
bubbles
cool.
slowly boil up.
Yeah, it just like it like there's a couple of concrete things I did here that like it just doesn't quite get into all the nooks and crannies, and it's impressive. Like I think these things are actually super good and important. I don't know how to find that. Maybe do concrete vibrator clear box. Makita vibrator clear box. Maybe. I mean, who cares? I mean,
Yes.
is this it? This looks like it could be it. Why
Yeah.
don't we just put a freaking YouTube premium account on this? All right.
Okay,
show us
effective
the
vibrator. You
Yeah.
Proud
concrete.
to be a civil engineer.
Wow.
Here it
Oh,
goes.
it
It, like-
spreads
like
out.
Wait, it's on. Oh, it's
liquefies.
on right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just wow, it evens out like immediately.
Yeah.
I thought it would be vibrating.
You just drag it around.
Well, you can't see it. It's
Yeah.
like a very, very small.
Do it again. Let me see it again.
So it's like you see, it's like lumpy, it's uneven, and then it just
Whoa.
like liquefies. It's like liquefaction.
I think it kind of is almost like shuffling cards. Like if they're moving a little bit, they kind
Mm.
of slip on each other. Some like liquefaction.
That's cool.
That's us.
No, I don't want to look at that. Gross.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. We've got there's full episodes of the podcast that are exclusive to Patreon. I think those are there. Maybe not. I don't know. There'll be one eventually. There should be one. Is there one? When does this come out?
This comes out the week after Open Sauce.
There probably is not an extra episode of the podcast on Patreon right now, but there will be next week.
There will be an extra on Patreon though, and you're gonna get to hear us Alan talk about where the heck he's been.
Oh, we're gonna do
Yeah.
that next time,
Yeah.
or this. Yeah, yes, yeah. This. Yep.
We just did it already.
He's
it's
been
there.
gone for a month. Where was he?
Prison.
He's got some cool stories to tell.
He's got tattoos to show.
It's on my butt.
Prison wallet too.
Subscribe to the Patreon to see Alan's butt tattoo.
How many $1 bills can Alan fit in his prison wallet?
Yo, the answer will not surprise you.
2. How many cigarettes can Alan? 1.
More cigarettes.
30 cigarettes.
Wait, till you can see what I can do with those cigarettes. I don't know.
I'm gonna smoke these cigarettes with my ass, Morty. See you guys next time.